So we've got some news and images of the Ms. Marvel TV series coming to Disney+, and fans of the Ms. Marvel character from the comics are not too impressed. And I kinda understand why, but I want to shed a little light on this particular matter myself, and hopefully I can instill a little optimism into those still in doubt. And just a reminder, these videos are made possible by my supporters on this platform, so if you do want to support me, be sure to hit that big, beautiful subscribe button. And be sure to check out the Patreon link in the description below. So I'm gonna say this right off the bat, I'm not a massive Ms. Marvel fan. Like, I understand this character is a fan favorite for a lot of people. I haven't really read any Ms. Marvel comics, or any Captain Marvel for that matter. The Marvels haven't really tickled the pickle as far as I'm concerned. So my overall knowledge of the character of Kamala Khan comes from the Avengers video game, which I don't know if people consider that to be a faithful depiction or whatnot. However, it's not to say I haven't been able to do some research ahead of doing this video. So what is it that people are upset about the Ms. Marvel series? I mean, I as a non-fan look at Ms. Marvel's costume and think, yeah, that's pretty dang dead on to what she's supposed to look like, I'm pretty sure. The problem is that they have changed her superpowers. Kamala Khan in the comics and games, she has like super stretchy powers, but it's not really just that. It can move more into like a shape-shifting direction as well. She can alter her appearance, alter her size, and she can use that to produce like giant fists and quote-unquote embiggen herself. Whereas what we see in all of the Ms. Marvel promotional material is that she's got more of a Green Lantern-esque power, and there's a lot of different potential reasons thrown around that I've heard. Some say that it's because the MCU's trying to drift away from the Inhumans because they were more of an X-Men substitute, and that Ms. Marvel is very much tied in with the Inhumans. Others say they're saving the stretchy powers for Mr. Fantastic. So like the whole signature thing with her powers, like especially in like the Avengers game, she can make these massive giant fists and punch people with them, but on the poster we've got her generating like a giant phantom fist, like a very, you know, giant translucent projection looking thing. So when I kind of discussed this on Twitter, my buddy Adzinko raised an excellent point, and it's that people aren't so much upset about the change in her powers so much as what it might entail for her story. That her original powers in the comic books played a huge role in her accepting who she is for who she is, as she initially uses her powers to try and change her race to fit in better in America. And now eventually she learns to accept herself and kind of, you know, come to that point of self-realization. So if her powers no longer involve shape-shifting her body, how can they necessarily tell that story? So here's what I think is happening. Now, I might be wrong, but I think this would be a good course of action to take. Her powers are overall the same. She can still make the giant fist, she can still embiggen, but it's got more of a phantom sort of effect to it. The way these powers present themselves appears more like it does in these posters where it's all ghosty looking. But she still does the exact same stuff, so she can use that phantom energy shit to make herself look like a white teenager. And that's how they can kind of fold that into the story. So it would all amount to the same thing. It would all be the exact same thing, it's just it's presented a little differently, and that would be something I could kind of roll with, because I know that Mr. Fantastic has to stretch his arms and stuff, but like I think in the case of giant CGI fists, seeing them in motion in a live action film could risk looking really fucking uncanny. Mr. Fantastic doesn't typically embiggen his fists and body and stuff so much as he just kind of stretches around and flings himself around like a rubber band. Even then, I'm still a little dubious about that. Stretchy powers are very hard to get right in live action. And I think in the very cartoonish way that Kamala Khan does it in a lot of the comics and other source materials, like they made it work in the Avengers game, but let's not forget, there is still a difference between video games and movies, even when the video games are going for a photorealistic approach. There's still going to be a somewhat significant difference in what you can and can't pull off, because there's still that matter of blending it with the live action. So, no, adapting Ms. Marvel is no easy frontier. Another reason why I do still have some faith in this show is that they do have the original writers of the Ms. Marvel comics working on the show as well, and I doubt they would belittle their own prior work. And heck, even if she can't shapeshift, there are still other ways they could tell that story of self-acceptance. It would just be, you know, they'd have to get very creative with it. But all the same, even then, even if they get the core of the character right, I still don't blame fans for being upset about this. It would be like if they said, you know, Spider-Man, like, he's my favorite superhero, like, he doesn't shoot webs now, but he flies. It's like, no, that would piss me off. So I understand why, even after, you know, all I've said, even, you know, if everything I say comes to pass, I understand if people are still pissed off. But I do hope that I could instill perhaps just a little bit of optimism in this. We'll have to see, but again, if you are pissed, I really don't blame you. I really don't. But maybe it's not as bad as it necessarily looks on the surface. Have faith. So what do you guys think? If you enjoyed this video and you want to support more like it, be sure to hit that big, beautiful subscribe button. And of course, in the description below are links to different social media feeds, including the Patreon. If you're feeling extra generous like the following people, who are David 20 Covers, JK Strife, Marcus Ward, Sirius the Skeptic, Biotinarts, Mr. SP, Sergio, George is Lost, Legendary Ray Ray, Adam Myers, and Fayalan Schwarzentraub. Thank you guys, you are the best of the best, but as for the rest of you, thank you so much for watching guys, and have a great day.